Hey guys, this should be a quick one. We're gonna learn how to do monochromatic ice cream. Let's get going. These are going to be the materials you're going to be needing for this project in particular. You're going to need some paper, some paint, some brushes. That's basically it. So first of all, we're going to need to fold this paper into eighths. The reason why eighths is so we can have places for our ice cream scoops and then make them symmetrical and relatively the same size. So that's what I'm doing right now. Make sure you have these folds over here, and hopefully you guys can see it a little bit better. I'm just going to try to make this folds a little bit better. There we go. There we go. You don't really need to focus too much on the folds because guess what? We're going to be cutting them anyways. Anyways, when it comes to these ice cream scoops, you can either use a tracer that I give you, or you can do your own. So I'm going to do using the tracer. You're going to be doing it with pencil first, just in case you mess up. And here we go. So I'm going to not use a tracer, I guess. Here we go. It's pretty simple. I just did a little cloud on the bottom, and then I just did a little sun on top. And that's how I did it. And when you're tracing it, you want to make sure you use a marker mat. That way you don't get it on my table. So here we go. I'm going to go back with Sharpie. There we go. Looking nice. There we go. And now you want to do 7 more, I should say. I'm going to do it really fast by fast forwarding a little bit. And by doing this, I'm going to be using the tracer. And sometimes I'm quicker this way, sometimes I'm not, depending what it is. You can see you can make the bottoms a little bit different. And the reason why you want to do that is so it looks more realistic and sometimes a little bit more fun. And over here on the extra sides, where it's a little bit extra, it might look like a heart, but it's actually kind of just like ice cream dips, or kind of like it dripping. So here we go. We need some red paint, some white paint, some black paint. You don't need red paint, it's depending on what flavor of ice cream you want to do. Remember, this is a monochromatic painting, so you do need to pick one color, and then you're going to go from light to dark using white and black. So I'm going to do red, a little bit of red, a lot of red over there, just a little bit of black, we don't need that much, and then a lot of white, so we're going to be doing whites in various spots. The reason why I'm taking those off is because there's some dry paint on top of those caps. So that's that, and then we need some water, paper towel just in case, and a brush. I like to do 2 different sizes just in case. There we go. I'm gonna leave that on the side, and we're ready. So I'm gonna teach you guys how to mix the paint. So the first one, you just want to do this, the pure red, just in case if it gets messed up later on. So you want to make sure you do the red first, that way, or the pure color first, I should say, just in case if it gets messed up later down the line. So I'm gonna paint this one just pure red. Looks kind of pinkish, right? That's because I added a little bit of water to the paint, or my brush, I should say. And that's basically it for that little ice cream scoop right there. I'm going to go back over a second time to make it a little bit more darker. As you can see, when I mix the second coat, a little darker. There we go. And there we go. Now I'm going to flip it over, or I should say I'm going to try to mix it. So I'm going to wash off my brush a little bit, make sure it's nice and clean. Dry it off in paper towel, and then I'm going to add a little bit of white and a couple more areas just in case if I run out of pure white. There we go. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my red, like a little tiny dot, about the size of like a pin. And then if I mix it with one of the whites, and I put it on paper, look how light that is. So that's not pure. Add a little more red. There we go. That is the pink I want. So there we go. That's going to be my lightest color, I believe. I think I can go lighter if I really wanted to, but I'm going to keep it like this. There's a pink. And I might as well do a little more in this little seam area. Let's see how much I go. Oh, see? There we go. Next, darkest. Even though I'm not adding black yet. Just adding little dabs of red each time I go around. More red. There we go. Ta-da! I really should move the paper up, but it looks like I didn't. I am doing this in my classroom, if you guys were wondering. It is my classroom here. That's why it's the same table you guys recognize. There we go. And this is a project that I normally do in the fall, but I think I might move this project to the spring for 4th grade. But we'll see. So that ice cream scoop's done. Little teardrop for that one. So that's that. Moving on. I think I'm going to go a little bit lighter, or I should say darker in terms of adding more red to the white. Okay, here we go. I'm going to add that. If I can zoom in, maybe to this one over here. And I think it's almost the same color, so I'm going to add a little bit more red. There we go. A little bit darker. Looks kind of the same as the other one on the bottom of it, but not quite as much. A little bit darker. And that's okay if you don't get it the first time. Here we go. And the reason why I didn't paint the top of that one is because you're going to be covering it anyways. I should have done it for the other two, but it's okay. So here we go. Keep on painting. Keep on painting. There's a teardrop. And then, as you can see, I added a little more red to the paint. That's why it looks like that. And I could have added more red to make a more drastic of a jump. And I'm leaving these parts white, so give it a little more of a highlight feel. So you could do that as well. Here we go, almost done. And there we go. Looks a little more shiny, kind of cool like that. You could do that on the other ice cream cones too, or ice cream scoops I should say, but I decided not to. So here we go. Moving on with a more darker red, or I should say a white with more red in it. There we go. Some highlights. Finishing it off, and of course I don't need to do the top. Here is some of the drips over here. Kind of looks like a heart. Little highlight on that heart. There we go. And this time, you don't want to mix white with the black. That's a big no-no because it's going to turn gray. So you want to make sure you wash your brush off before you move on to the darker color. Mixing with black. So over here, I'm going to add a little bit of red on a couple spots. And I only did a tad of black, and it turned out really, really dark. There we go. Remember, dark is really powerful, so you don't want to add too much black or else it's going to overpower the red or the pure color that you added to. So here we go. Nice little red over there. Kind of looks maroon. Add a little more black. Ooh, see how dark that was? So you don't want that to happen, so I'm just going to wipe off a little bit onto my paper towel. Try it again. There we go. Let's see if it worked. And it did. Great. It looks kind of similar to the one I just did, but hopefully I could add a little more black to that. Let's see. You see, I tried to compare it to the other one. It's almost turning out the way I want to, and there we go. I don't need to paint the tops of those because I know for a fact I'm gonna put, I'm gonna be stacking them in the first place, first of all. So that's that, and there we go. I have all 8 monochromatic paintings I have right there, and I'm gonna put this on the drying rack to dry. Here we go. There we are, and then make sure you put it on the top corners. That way you can fit more people there, but since it's just me, there we go. Here's some students working on this project. You can see some students are cutting them out, some students are still painting, and so on. Here are some other colors people are using. Sometimes they're using the same colors. If it looks kind of dull, it means you didn't wash your brush properly enough when it comes to the white and the black. So you want to make sure you're mixing the pure color with the white and then the pure color with the black, and not mixing the white and the black together, or else it's you're gonna have dull colors. So when you're done with that, you want to make sure you wash your palette off, just like this, how I'm doing it. You can do it with a sponge. A sponge normally works a little bit better, but I'm using it just with my fingers, as you can see. And there we go, nice and clean. Wash the cup off, wash the brush off. I like to rinse the brush inside the cup of water. There we go. Brush is all clean. I can put the brush back facing up, and there we go. So I cut up a bunch of my monochromatic things. I'm going to show you guys how to do the cone. I should have used 2 scoops of this. That's kind of wasting paper. I could have got like maybe 2 or 3 scoops out of that. There's the cone itself. You can see that's just scraps for me for now. You can see I did cut up the cones, or the scoops I should say. Here we go. And then I'm going to try to figure out which one's darker and which one's lighter. I'm going to try to stack them in a certain way. You can make a bowl that way. So if you want to make a bowl, you can do that way. For instance, but we're going to be making a big stack instead. So I'm going to put the scoop on the very bottom, and then I'm going to start stacking it. Here we go. I'm going to go from dark to light. So I'm going to find the darkest ones, go to the lightest ones, going up, 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 up. So you can see, there we go. Should have done the pure red in the middle, like I just fixed it, just there. This one's kind of hard to mix up because I wasn't sure which one was which. And there we go. So you can see it's not centered on the background, so you want to move them all down. And it's okay if you stack them a lot. You can either go like that, or you could spread them out. So if you want it all on the page, it's going to look like that. And then you can add a little bit of the teardrops. You can see it looks kind of like an upside down heart. You can kind of spread them out any way you want. But what I'm going to do is that I'm going to glue it separately from the paper. So I'm going to put it on the back of the cone. Here we go. Or actually, this is the front of the cone. I should have created the waffle part with a Sharpie, but I didn't. But it's okay. So as you can see, I'm using a glue stick to glue them all on. Here we go. Moving on, moving on. Here's the next one. Ta-da, voila. Pressing down on both sides, as you can see. And I'm going to keep going. I'm going to add some teardrops, or I should say some scoop spills, or I don't know. It's melting. You guys get the idea. Anyways, moving on. As I'm still trying to test them out. Looks like I'll go over here. Sometimes you can use a pencil trace where you're going to be marking it off. As you can see, just how I did over there. Pressing on both sides, so making sure the glue sticks properly. Because this project does fall apart sometimes if you don't glue it properly. There we go. Pressing on both sides. Adding some more teardrops. There we go. It looks like it's dripping. Moving on. We only have 3 scoops to go. As you can see, it's staying nice and steady so far. And I'm on my last scoop. There we go. That's the lightest color. Adding a little more glue as as necessary because it is going to tend to fall off. I'm going to add a little more of my teardrops, random spots. I don't have to use all of them. If they don't look good, I'll just toss them or else give it to someone else. And here you go. You can see my doing the scoops, kind of waffle cones, kind of like a checker pattern. Checker pattern's a little bit curved. And then once we're done with all this, we can paste it onto the blue paper or the paper that I provide for you. So here we go. This is all done, and then now you can see the scoop is a little bit bigger than the paper itself, which is fine. So all we gotta do is center it properly. So right now what I'm doing is just making some accessories. So I'm gonna be making some whipped cream. As you can see, it's on the top, and I measured it with the top scoop. That's all how I did the top part, and then I kind of just guessed. So I'm gonna glue this on top. Just glue on the bottom over there. I shouldn't have glued the top because there we go. Moving on. Let's see. I can also do some pieces of it dripping, so that's why I did some teardrops. I didn't have to draw those. I just kind of knew how it was gonna go. There we go, and one down there. Ta-da! All right, let me do some cherry on top, a little circle, kind of looks like the size of a quarter. A little stem, cut that out, and I'm gonna put it onto the top of my ice cream. There we go. Now my ice cream has some whipped cream and the cherry. There we go. I can glue it on to the final paper. And as you can see, it's glued on. I just gonna press hard, and then I can flip it over, press it down harder on the back. That's why you don't ruin the edges of your actual ice cream scoops. Put my name in the back, of course, just so people know whose it is. And then some little confetti things for the sprinkles. There we go. You don't need to do different colors for sprinkles if you don't want to. I just chose light blue because I like light blue. It's nice and pretty. And there we go. My ice cream's all done. Here we go. Here's a couple of them that are hung up in the hallway. Really nice. I think 4th grade did a really good job this year of 2015, 2016. Sorry, I can't talk. And that's basically it. Hopefully you guys like this project a lot. I really enjoyed it. And it's one of my favorite ones because it really does teach you guys how to go from light to dark when it comes to paint. Painting's really hard. I didn't really get good at painting until high school, so I'm glad I'm teaching it now in elementary school. Hopefully you guys can get better. And hopefully you guys appreciate it. So that's that. I'm just going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching this video. And as always, see you next time. If you want to see some more videos, I have some linked. I did some Star Wars ones, and I have a vlog channel over here. I'm going to be doing something about my car. Follow me on Instagram and follow me on Twitter. And as always, that's it. I don't know what else to say. All right. See ya.